So I couldn't post this video without talking about an issue that triggers me beyond measure in a way that I cannot possibly explain without a little crack in my voice. An issue that we've been facing as South African women for many years to date. Yet, here we are. And you know what? I will not be silent. And I may not have the widest reach, but if more than 2 of you are listening to this voice over right now, then my work here is done. We simply cannot support Black Lives Matter if in the same breath we don't understand that Black queer lives matter, Black children lives matter, Black African lives matter, and Black woman lives matter. And if you are a Black woman in South Africa or anywhere else on the planet and you are affected by gender-based violence, I just want to say, I wish you love. And more importantly, I wish you life. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you are new here, you are most welcome. So there has been a trend going on the YouTube streets, and I think on TikTok as well. Actually, I think it started on TikTok, and this is the Fox Eye makeup challenge, where basically you create your makeup in a way that you kind of like give the illusion of having fox eyes or lifted eyes. This is actually a eye surgery. Yeah, it's actually an eye surgery where it is an eye lift, and basically the outer corners of your eyes are lifted to give the illusion of having fox eyes. So I think it was started by the Hadid sisters, Gigi Hadid and Bella Hadid, and it just created a wave of a lot of beauty content creators creating the fox eye makeup look. So I kind of liked it. I watched a few videos and stuff of people creating the look, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I just try it? I'm trying it for the first time in this video. I've never done it before. I've never attempted it before. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it. But I'm trying it. And if all goes well, then, I mean, if you're watching this video right now, it means that all went well. Fingers crossed that all goes well. Please don't forget to comment in the comment section down below if you liked this kind of video. If you want me to film more of these challenges, please let me know in the comment section down below, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And I mean, subscribe. If you're watching this video right now and you haven't subscribed, why, like, what are you waiting for? Why haven't you subscribed? Subscribe, like, and comment in the comment section down below. Turn on your notifications, share this video with your friends so that all of you guys can watch. And yeah, let's get right into the video. So by the way, I do have my ring light on today. Not for any specific reason, but I am trying to figure out how to film with my ring light on, because the past couple of videos I didn't have my ring light on while filming, and I just want to see what difference it would make. So I'm hoping that the lighting is good. I haven't figured out completely how to film using my ring light, but I guess I'll figure out. And I am using my iPhone, so it's also a bit difficult to get the lighting and stuff like proper, but whatever, it is what it is. As you can see, I've already done my brows off camera, and the reason why I did them off camera is because for this look to be okay, I had to sort of like figure out a different way of doing my brows, and my brows basically have to be a bit lifted. So the makeup look involves or has to have your brows looking like they're a bit lifted so that you can have more eyelid space to create that fox effect. So that is why I did my brows off camera, because I needed to figure out how I'm going to get that done. And they look quite okay, and naturally I do have a lot of eyelid space, so I'm hoping that that works to my advantage. So I'm starting by priming my face using the Maybelline Babyskin Instant Pore Eraser, and this is like the only primer that I use on my face. Now that my priming is done, I'm going to go into my foundation, and the foundation that I'm using today is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear foundation. So like I mentioned in my graduation makeup tutorial, this is a new foundation, and I picked up like a lot of stuff that I didn't like about it when I was watching my graduation makeup tutorial, makeup look. And one of the things that I don't like about it is that it's very yellowy. So it has a yellow undertone, and that's not really my undertone. My undertone is more neutral. So to neutralize it, I am going to use a cream foundation stick. This is a cream foundation stick from Signature Cosmetics, and I'm going to use it. It is slightly darker than my skin tone, but it's gonna bring like the neutrality into the foundation. And then I'm going in with the L'Oreal Infallible foundation. Normally I blend my foundation using a brush, but in this instance, because of this foundation, I realized that it looks more nicer, or it looks more blended when I use a beauty blender from the get-go. So even though I don't like this method, because I feel like beauty blenders do take up a lot of foundation, a lot of product, they do waste a lot of product, but I mean, for the purpose of having a better finish, I'm just gonna go in with a damp beauty blender to blend out my foundation. And one thing about this foundation is that it smells really nice. Like the L'Oreal Infallible foundation is probably the best smelling foundation I have used. And I've used quite a lot of foundations. So blending is very important, because especially on your face, you want to look more flawless than cakey. Like cakey is not a very good look. So I always start with a little foundation and then build it up if need be. And I don't like a very full coverage foundation or foundation look. I prefer a more natural looking foundation. That's just my preference. But this foundation is definitely buildable, so you can build it to the coverage of your desire. So I'd say it's medium to full coverage. And in all honesty, I do like this foundation a lot. The only thing that I do not like about it is the fact that it comes off as yellowy and then it oxidizes darker. So while applying it, it might look like it's a bit too light, and that's what I picked up in my previous video. But upon blending it and it's sitting for a few seconds or so, it kind of like blends into your skin properly. So as you can see here, I've put translucent powder on the corner of my eyes, and this is a trick that I saw on YouTube with creating this look, because you need to create a slanted eye sort of like look, and this will help. This basically will help with making sure that your eyeshadow and everything that you do on your eyes is confined to the shape that has been created by the powder there. So the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to use today is this one here, and it is the Sunset Dusk palette. by Beauty Glazed, and Beauty Glazed is basically a brand of like eyeshadows and highlighters and things like that that you find on AliExpress. So different vendors sell Beauty Glazed products on AliExpress. I'm going to link it down below, but this is also a dupe of a Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. I'm just not sure of which one, but like I mentioned, I'm very much of a warm eyeshadow lover, and this eyeshadow palette, which looks like shit, sorry, it looks like shit, but it's because I use it quite a lot. This is what it looks like inside. I'm so embarrassed, but I mean, it is what it is. I use this eyeshadow a lot, especially on makeup clients, so that's why it looks the way it does. I'm going in with a brown, a very dark brown in the eyeshadow, like the darkest brown in the eyeshadow, and I'm going to put that on the corners of my eyes. And now I'm not bringing it in too much because I wanted to have that slanted effect. So I'm sort of creating that effect using the brush. And I am patting it on my eyelids, and I'm keeping it on the outer corner. I'm not bringing it in to my eyelid. I'm keeping it on the outer corner and trying to create that slanted shape there. And even if you mess up, what I like about things like concealer is, even if you mess up, you can always go in with a concealer and try and correct it. So I'm not too worried about messing up. What I need to get correct is the technique. So if I get the technique okay and anything else sort of like gets messed up, I can always go in with a concealer just to fix it up. And one thing that I forgot actually is to prime my eyelids, but I did bring the concealer down when blending the concealer that I used to clean up my brows. So I'm just hoping that that will work. I was meant to prime my eyelids before starting with this look, but I just hope that it does work either way. So I hope you can all see the shape of the eyeshadow that I'm trying to create there, and it is basically a slanted eyeshadow. So I'm going to keep it like that. I haven't blended it yet. I'm already seeing that this part of my eyelid, or this eyelid, is beginning to crease. The concealer there is creasing, so I'm just going to go in with some translucent powder and just blend that in. I'm repeating what I did on this eye. I'm repeating it on this eye as well. I'm going to blend this out to make it look a little bit less intense than how it's looking right now. Okay, so that is how it looks. I know it looks weird, and I'm just gonna pray that it looks better soon. And I'm just gonna blend the outer edges of that eyeshadow using a orange. And can you see, as I am blending, the eyeshadow starts looking a bit less intense. I'm gonna go in with a clean blending brush, and I'm just gonna blend everything together, and also just try and remove like any harsh intensities. Now that that is done, I'm just gonna go in with just a little bit of some concealer, not too much, and I'm going to carve out the inner parts of my eyes, but I'm going to keep it very, very low because it still has to have that slanted effect. And this is also one of the reasons as to why I wasn't too worried about the fact that I didn't prime my eyelids first, because I knew that I was going to end up doing this anyway. And by the way, the concealer that I'm using for this is the LA Girl Pro HD Concealer in Cool Tan. Cool Tan is very, very light, but for the purpose of like cutting your crease or for any eyeshadow looks, it's better to go for a lighter concealer rather than one that is just probably like a shade or two lighter than your own skin tone. I'm setting using a translucent powder just so that the concealer doesn't crease. And then I'm gonna pack a eyeshadow color from the same palette. It is sort of like a pinkish eyeshadow, but when I put it on my eyelids, it looks really just like the color of this concealer. So that's what I'm gonna use. That is as far as that goes, and then I'm going to blend out the outer eyeshadow, the outer part of my eyelids using the same brush that I used for that orange transition color. Just going to blend like that. And then now this is also something that I saw with a lot of the YouTubers who were creating this look, is that they took the brown and they brought it a bit into the eye like so. So I don't know if you can see that, but I'm taking that dark brown that I used first and I am bringing it in like that. I'm still going to add some eyeliner because that's the most important part of this look, is the eyeliner. But right now I'm going to go and highlight my face, highlight and contour. And I'm using my LA Girl Pro HD Concealer in the shade Fawn to highlight under my eyes, the bridge of my nose, under, well, my cupid's bone or above my lip, and my chin, and a bit on my forehead as well. So because the eye look is a more slanted look, I am sort of going to blend the concealer really higher than usual, and I'm going to blend it up just to enforce the look that I want, or the illusion that I want from my eyes. Back with my damp beauty blender, I'm going to blend out that concealer after having it sit for a few seconds. So letting the concealer sit for a few seconds gives it more coverage and also stops it from moving around a lot. So if you blend it immediately after you put it on your face, you will see that it will move around a lot and it will be very difficult for you to blend. Whereas if you leave it for quite some time, like a few seconds, 30 seconds or so on your face, it creates more coverage. So leave your concealer on for just a few seconds before blending it out using your beauty blender. I have blended out my concealer and now I'm going to set it, and I am setting it using the Revlon Candid. I don't know if you can see it. I think it's too bright. Okay, but basically that is the Revlon Photo Ready Candid Anti-Pollution Setting Powder, and this is the second shade. So they have 3 shades. I think it's light, medium and dark. This one is medium. And what I like about this setting powder, I was using it for the first time in my graduation makeup video. What I like about it is that it has like a blurring effect. So it sort of like blurs the areas that you apply it to, which is really dope. And I am basically applying it to all the areas that I put concealer on. So I probably look very ashy right now, but best believe, baby, it's gonna look better, okay? I promise. So now while that is sitting for a little bit, I'm gonna go back to my eyes. And now this is the most important part of this fox eye look. So I'm using a liner, a gel liner, and I'm gonna create a wing. And this is the most important part of the look, because I'm going to create a wing, and the wing needs to look perfect in order for this look to look the way it's supposed to. So I'm praying to the Lord above and to my ancestors, can they come through for the girl? So I'm not bringing my liner in too much. I'm keeping my liner basically on the outer end of my eyes. I've brought my eyeliner a little bit into the inner corner of my eyes, and now to create that fox effect, I'm going to draw a thin line in the inner corner. So a very thin line using my liner. So far so good, I think. I'm going to do my other eye, and I'm just going to repeat exactly what I did, and I hope that it comes out looking okay. Like the other eye, I created a wing, and I think this one looks better than this one, but anyway, I created a wing, and now I'm going to bring in the eyeliner to my inner corner. And like I said, I'm not too worried about filling in the liner like to create a solid line, because at the end I am going to put black eyeshadow to sort of like set that liner, because it is really disappointing me right now. I'm going to set it using an eyeshadow. I mean, if I had a better liner, a better eyeliner, I wouldn't have to include that part, but because the eyeliner that I'm using is not the greatest, I have to do that. Okay, so I think it looks good. It looks okay so far. I did make a bit of a mess here, but I can always clean that up using concealer and a brush. So this is the part that I'm going to fill in that liner with some black eyeshadow. And then I'm going to take a black eyeliner, the small one that I have here that is hanging on for dear life, and I'm going to line the bottom of, well, my bottom lash line. Before I continue with anything on my eyes, I haven't contoured yet, so I'm going to quickly do that. And I'm not using any special contour palette. It is just a normal contour palette, powder contour palette from Dischem. So I contour my cheekbones, my forehead to make it look just a little bit more defined. And when you contour, it is very important for you to contour up rather than down, because if you're contouring down, you're dragging your face down, and that is not a cute look. And then just to make sure that there aren't any harsh lines, I'm going to use my damp beauty blender. And now I'm going to set my entire face and also powder the areas that I didn't put any highlight or contour on using my setting powder from Avon. And this step is very, very important because it makes sure that everything is blended all together. So it just puts your whole makeup look, your whole face, puts it together. Just to bring back some color to my face, because I'm sure I look very gray and very ashy right now. So I'm going to go in and add some blush to my face, and I am blending my blush up. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm gonna go and put on my eyelashes, and I'm doing this very, very differently to how I normally do it, and I'm going to explain it in a few seconds. So I'm using some old eyelashes that I literally always use, and because they are old, I'm going to snip them at the outer ends because, okay, wait, I'm snipping them at the outer ends because this makeup look needs you to put your eyelashes more on the outer corners of your eyes. So because obviously the eyelashes will be a bit longer, for that I'm just snipping it, or snipping them a bit on the outer ends. I don't mind doing this because, like I mentioned, these eyelashes are quite old. I wouldn't do this to new eyelashes. I'm putting the middle down first. And then the outer lash, I am going to slant it. So I'm not going to put it on my lash line, but rather I am going to slant it. So I hope you guys can all see that eye lift effect. I hope it's not just me who's lying to myself, but I hope that I actually did create that eye lift effect. And I didn't start my eyelashes where I normally would, which would be around here. I brought them a bit outwards. And I'm going to do the same on the other lash. Okay, I think this eye looks better than this one. Alright, so now because there obviously is space between my lash line and the lashes, because of the fact that on the outer corners the lashes are lifted a bit, I'm going to use some of the gel to cover that area, or to make it a bit more darker so that it's not that visible. And I'm going to use some mascara as well. And I'm using the gel just to fill in the spaces between the lash line and the lashes. that space there, and here as well. And I'm using my Princess Lash mascara from Essence. Alright, so that is done and my eyes are looking so red. This happens to me every time I have makeup on, so I always have to use some sort of eye drops after applying makeup, because my eyes always get red. But anyway, we move. I'm using some rose water and witch hazel in a spray bottle to just spritz my face before I add any highlighter. And the highlighter that I'm using is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in Precious Petals. And I'm basically highlighting the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, a bit of my cheeks, I'm highlighting my Cupid's bone, a bit of my chin, my forehead, my brow bones, and I'm just gonna blend in the highlighter on my cheeks because sometimes I feel like it's too much using a beauty blender. And then for my lips, I'm just going to line my lips with a brown liner. Then I'm going to use some concealer. And then using my favorite lip gloss from NYX, and it is the Buttergloss in Praline, and this is my favorite gloss in the whole entire world. To set my entire makeup look, I'm using my Avon Mark Prep and Set Spray. Guys, I was literally on the verge of tears, like literally on the verge of tears. So just after I finished the tutorial, before I changed into the clothes and fixed my hair up a bit, my battery died, and when I switched my phone back on, it seemed as though the video wasn't saved. So I was literally about to cry, thinking of me having to film the tutorial again. And you know, you hear a lot about these things on YouTube where people film stuff and then the footage gets deleted. So I didn't expect for that to happen to me so soon, but I was really depressed. However, after a couple of minutes or so, the video came back. So wow, thank the heavens. This is the makeup look, the finished makeup look. I don't know how foxy it looks. It looks more cat eye-ish more than fox eye-ish, but I think I got the concept okay, you know, and I think foxes and cats look the same anyway. I hope you like it, and do let me know if you want me to film more videos like this. Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video.